Hello, welcome to Spade TV, Unity in Diversity. My name is Babran Tianapo, and in today's episode, I'm bringing you a little bit of a news update at the BRICS Summit. I'm sure you've heard of BRICS, but you don't actually know what it is about, whether it's BRICS used for building or BRICS that is used for something else. But Ghana's president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, at the BRICS Summit, BRICS is an intergovernmental organization that have come together to dominate the world's economy by 2050. And these superpowers are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So these countries have come together to form what is known as BRICS, and they intend to invite other countries to join them so that they can dominate the world's market economy by 2050. They've actually held a summit here in Africa, in South Africa, and they invited all the African countries to participate. Ghana was there, represented by our president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He gave a nice speech yesterday when he was speaking at the summit. But before we go into it, let's go for a quick commercial break for my sponsor, Sunbest Healthcare. When we're back, we'll look at the speech.
Hello, Abusiafo. But Sunbest medicated powder. Now, on your form. Hey, say when a man in swans one yes, see, never good out at all. About cock, I'm a what so.
Or don't.
It's what now I'm on why you say. A crow. Take a career, a yam, a crow, a juniper de aboso, and only Sunbest medicated ointment, a beb wow.
My possum, to me.
Who when Pedro be onia meant na ho ma honam ya enhu wani maase what posso complaining na et so betwa koto Sunbest herbal balm ye from mama Sunbest products edutwem
Obenya Sunbest products our pharmacies any herbal shops to phone friend 0551 907 393 FDA agidwadi enkratuo yatum.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break from Sunbest Healthcare. Now, as I said earlier on, BRICS is an intergovernmental organization, which is now it's about Brazil, Russia, India, the People's Republic of China, and South Africa. So these 5 countries have formed BRICS, and now they formed it so that they can just trade among themselves. No external superpower will just come and influence them. They can do things by themselves, and most importantly, dominate the world's market economy by 2050. That is the goal they have set for themselves. Now, when the Russia-Ukraine war came and became a hula baloo in the world, and it was just dominating every news outlet in the world, BRICS and NATO came into question. Now, people were saying NATO wanted to sponsor Ukraine. People were saying BRICS, people were saying NATO, they were comparing the two. Now, with South Africa's apartheid going on and so many things, BRICS has also come into question once again. So now it's between BRICS and it's between NATO, especially when now America is forcing people to accept LGBTQI in their countries. Kamala Harris is just traveling around the world, especially in Africa here, forcing us to accept LGBTQI activities. Now, that is what BRICS comes in, because people are saying that BRICS don't hold that view, and that when we Africans, we go and just join BRICS, we'll be free, instead of just always succumbing to the powers of the Americans and the West and Europe. So what are they trying to tell us? But that is not the main focus of today's video. Today's video's focus is on His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa's speech, Ghana's president's speech, on Thursday at the BRICS Summit. He made a statement that we must prioritize global peace to drive global development. Now, read my lips. We must prioritize peace to drive global development. This Ukraine war, Russia-Ukraine war, and the coup d'etat that is happening in West Africa, it is actually disturbing the peace of our nation and of our continent, especially when this country, we started blaming the Russian-Ukraine war for some of the inflations and the hardships that we were going on in this country. Now, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is saying that if we want to develop the country, if we want to develop the world, if BRICS want to achieve the aim that they've set for themselves, that is to dominate the world's economic market by 2050, then we must prioritize peace. We must prioritize peace, because peace is everything. Don't put your mind on the meme that says we don't want peace, we want problems always. But this time we actually want peace. If there is peace in Russia and Ukraine, which I know that was the main focus of his speech, then we can develop the world, we can develop our continent and the countries that will join BRICS. Now, I don't want to take much of the time and explain it because his words were self-explanatory. Let's go and watch the video when he gave the speech.
We have to work together to achieve our goals, including a fair for an organization that represents some 30% of global GDP and some 42% of the world's population. The importance of BRICS, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, to the economic growth and the promotion of progress and prosperity around the world cannot be stressed enough. And I must applaud successive leaders of the BRICS countries for sustaining the relevance of this body. Excellencies, never has there been a time in recent history where malevolent forces have combined in such a manner to bring hardships to the world, especially to those of us in Africa. We are indeed operating in the most difficult of times. The interlocking challenges and the convergence of crises we are faced with pose existential threats that require immediate solidarity and collective action. It is obvious that the world has virtually run out of time to work together in the spirit of multilateralism. If we do not renew our commitments to build, keep, and consolidate peace and democracy all over the world, we would have to brace ourselves to live in a new and more dangerous world today and in the future. The issues of peace, progress, and prosperity in BRICS countries and Africa are deeply intertwined, which presuppose that ensuring the development of Africa should be in our common interest, which will help right the historic injustice of Africa, the richest continent in the world, being as a result of systemic exploitation, the continent with the highest number of the poorest people. Africa, I need reminding you, has 1.3 billion inhabitants, nearly 18% of the world's population. And in 2050, will be 2.5 billion, meaning that 1 out of every 4 persons in the world will be African. Now more than ever, strong partnership between the BRICS nations and Africa, reinforced political dialogue, and expanded cooperation in the fields of economic growth and international security are required. We have to work together to achieve our goals, including a fair, equitable process of energy transition, which recognizes that the entire African continent is responsible for less than 4% of global emissions, and which safeguards the prospects of Africa's development. Excellencies, I urge this meeting to address one issue of importance for us in Africa, and I believe for the world generally. That is the urgent necessity for the reform of the United Nations, especially of the composition and structure of its Security Council. The contemporary world has moved on significantly from the post-1945 world, which gave rise to the birth of the United Nations and the makeup of the Security Council. The world of 2023 is not the world of 1945. The crisis of the global financial institutions and of global governance under the United Nations system, which were created from the rubble of the Second World War, is a deep crisis. It will continue until a fair system is put in place, a system that reflects the new balances, no longer based on who won or lost the Second World War, but on the major contemporary and future balances. I believe strongly that despite its numerous challenges, Africa is on the cusp of building a great new civilization, which will unleash the considerable energies and huge potential of the African peoples, so that we will make our own unique contribution to the growth of world civilization. Together, working with the rest of us on the continent and with our increasingly educated, skilled, dynamic, and growing youthful population, operating under the aegis of the African Continental Free Trade Area, whose Secretariat Ghana has the honor to host. I'm confident a strong partnership with the BRICS nations can help construct a prosperous and self-confident Africa. I'd like to end by extending hearty congratulations to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on India's historic achievement of yesterday. I thank Your Excellencies for your attention.
Now, you heard the words of the president, right? Let's just prioritize peace. Without unity, we can't do anything, because in unity comes strength. In unity comes strength. So please, let us prioritize peace and do everything. The West, Europe, want to actually dominate Africa. They are manipulating Africa. They want to continue to manipulate Africa. But I think with the introduction of BRICS, if Africans are able to join BRICS, we would know when and how to harness our own resources and use it to develop our own nations and our own continent. As Kwame Nkrumah said, the only way we can find solution to the African problem is to find an African solution. So let us try and come together with unity and with strength. We would be able to achieve whatever that we want to achieve. But what do you think? Should African countries join BRICS, or they should just wait and let the Western world dominate us? Leave your comment under the comment section. I hope that you like this video, share, and also subscribe to Spade and Spade TV, Unity in Diversity. Don't forget to tap on that notification bell so that when we drop a new video, you would be the first to get it. My name is Mabran Tenapa. A big shout out is going out to the crew for helping me make this video successful. Abena Sokode, Bernard behind the cameras, and also Surgical Lord. They all help. Our executive producer is Mama Julie. She's the one who is helping make this production a success. This episode was probably brought to you by Sunbest Healthcare. And until I see you again, remain blessed and remain safe.
Hello, Abusiafo. But Sunbest medicated powder. Now, on your form. Hey, say when a man in swans one years is soon. Never good out at all. About cock, I'm a what so. Or don't. It's what now I'm on why you say. A crow. Sakakarere, a yam, a crow, a juniper bosso, and nunye, Sunbest medicated ointment, a bebwow.
Maposu, to me.
When Pedro be Onia, men's na home man am ya enwu ni masi. Waposu complaining na, et so becha, koto Sunbest herbal balm. Ye from Mama Sunbest. Sunbest products, educhem.
Obenya Sunbest products, our pharmacies, any herbal shops. To phone friend 0551 907 393. FDA, I did Jedi and Kratua.